I can still hear Daddy's old Ford start before the sunrise kissed the dark. Mama packed his lunch in a paper sack and waved until he looked back. That little farmhouse on Willow Creek never had much, but it had what we need. The rooster crowed, the coffee steamed. Life was slower than it seems. The screen door slammed, the wind chime rang. Morning came with a simple plan: work all day, come home by 5. Thank the Lord we were alive. Saturday meant mowing the yard. Fixing fences wasn't hard. Grandpa whittled on the porch all day, teaching us the country way. Grandma baked a peach pie sweet, cooling on the window in the heat. Neighbors stopped without a call. There was always room for all. Kids played ball until sunsets glow, barefoot where the clovers grow. Nobody cared what money could buy. We were rich beneath that sky. Life wasn't written in a hurry. It was measured by love instead of worry. Every mile and every prayer still reminds me we were there. Take me back where the gravel road begins, where every stranger became a friend, where the porch light stayed on every night, and everything somehow felt right. Take me back to those simple days, to honest work and amazing grace. If I had one wish before I'm gone, I'd live that country life once more. Now the old barn leans a little more, the red paint faded from the door. Daddy's boots still sit inside, covered by the hands of time. Mama's rocking chair still sways like she's singing through the days. Sometimes when the evening falls, I still hear those distant calls. My grandson asked me how life was then. I smile and tell him once again, the greatest things I've ever known were faith, family, and coming home. The highways grew wider every year, but they never brought me here. Because home was never just a place, it lived inside each familiar face. Time may weather wood and stone, but love outlasts them all. Every country song I sing brings me back where memories call. Take me back where the gravel road begins, where the laughter never ends, where Mama prayed beside my bed, and every kind word filled my head. The world may change 1,000 That's where I hope my soul will run. Back where the gravel road begins. Some people spend a lifetime looking for happiness. I was lucky enough to grow up where it already lived.
Friday evening rolled around once more. Boots were lined outside the old dance floor. The band tuned up as the lights grew dim. Every song began with a hopeful hymn. You walked in wearing that yellow dress, the prettiest smile I'd ever met. One simple glance was all it took to change the story my life would write. The fiddle cried while the steel guitar sang. Every heartbeat moved with the band. We danced so close, we forgot the time. Like forever had already crossed our minds. Outside the moon lit the gravel lane. Crickets joined the sweet refrain. I held your hand beneath the stars, never dreaming we'd come this far. Life has given us laughter and tears, yet love has carried us through the years. One more dance at Miller's Hall, where our hearts first heard love call. Every step still feels the same, even though we both changed. Gray hair shines beneath the light, just like on that summer night. One more dance before we're through, I'd still choose every song with you. Now our children have children too, living dreams we once hoped would come true. The old dance hall stands worn with age, but our memories still fill that stage. Friends have come and friends have gone, yet the music somehow carries on. Every melody brings us back to the footprints on those weathered planks. When these hands grow weak someday, don't let the music fade away. Hold me close like long ago, and let that old love gently flow. One more dance at Miller's Hall, where time surrendered to it all. Every fiddle, every steel guitar still reminds me who we are. When the final curtain falls, I'll still hear those country calls. One more dance before the night is through. Forever starts and ends with
dance may end, but love keeps playing long after the music fades.
Every Saturday the music filled the air, boots on wooden floors without a care. Old guitars were singing loud and clear. Every smiling face was someone dear. Mary danced in that red cotton dress. Tom forgot about his week's hard stress. Children laughed beneath the evening stars. Love was written underneath those barns. Nobody needed fancy things, just a simple song the whole town sings. Saturday night at Johnson's barn, where every broken heart found love. Steel guitars and fiddles played like blessings falling from above. We danced until the morning light, forgot every worry we'd been through. Saturday night at Johnson's barn was where dreams always came true. Coffee brewing in the old tin pot, stories shared about the things we'd lost. Every handshake meant a faithful friend. Nobody thought good times would ever end. The jukebox played another favorite tune. Couples swayed beneath the harvest moon. Life was simple, slow, and full of grace. You could see forever in each face. Though the barn is faded with the years, its music still rings in my ears. Whenever an old melody begins, I'm dancing there once again. Saturday night at Johnson's barn still lives inside this heart of mine. Every fiddle, every country song still stands the test of time. If heaven sounds like anywhere, I hope that little barn is there. Saturday night at Johnson's barn, where love never grew old. Every morning broke with a rooster's call. Sunlight climbed that old red barn. Mama tied her apron with a gentle smile. Daddy whistled as he walked another mile. Coffee brewed on that old black stove. The
The radio played songs we all knew. Boots by the doorway, hats on the wall. Back then we believed we'd always have it all. Grandpa's hands were rough as weathered oak. Every wrinkle held a story, never spoke. Grandma laughed while the biscuits baked. She said, love is something that you make. We chased fireflies across the field, dreaming of places beyond the hills. But every sunset found us home again, where every stranger was a friend. We never counted dollars in the bank, we counted blessings every day. The richest life I ever knew was never very far away. When the screen door sang behind us, summer never seemed to end. Every breeze carried laughter, every road led home again. If I could live one moment twice, I'd choose those simple years, where love was louder than the thunder, and hope was stronger than our fears. Now that little farmhouse wears the years, paint is fading, but the love is still here. The porch swing moves with the evening wind, like it's waiting for us all again. My children ask me what it was like growing up beneath those country skies. I tell them happiness wasn't bought, it lived inside the hearts we brought. Time keeps rolling like a freight train song, taking yesterday before too long. But memories never lose their way, they find us at the close of every day. Sometimes I close my eyes and hear Daddy calling from the yard, Mama humming through the kitchen window, healing every scar. When the screen door sang behind us, every season felt brand new. Every prayer rose with the morning sun, every promise carried through. Though these roads have changed with time, my heart still knows the way back to that little country home, where forever chose to stay. Some houses are built with timber and stone, but the best ones are built with love, laughter, and the songs we carry home. I still remember that little dirt road, where every mile carried a lighter load. A white frame house beneath the pines, with a porch that welcomed all the time. Mama's curtains danced with the breeze. Wind chimes sang through the maple trees. Coffee waiting on the stove each dawn, before the first rooster carried on. Daddy's boots were by the old back door, covered with dust from the fields once more. He'd smile and say, "Come sit a while," making every hard day feel worthwhile. Summer evenings never came too fast. We always hoped they'd somehow last. Grandpa's stories filled the air, while Grandma rocked her old oak chair. Kids caught fireflies in old glass jars, counting wishes beneath the stars. No television, no fancy phones, just happy hearts and simple homes. Every Sunday the church bell rang, the choir lifted voices as everyone sang. Faith was something you could feel, as honest and warm as a country meal. Now the years have rolled away like trains, but nothing can erase those names. There's still a light in Mama's window, shining through my memories, calling me back to yesterday like a gentle southern breeze. No matter where this old road goes, my heart still finds that door. There's still a light in Mama's window, and it shines forevermore. Now my grandson holds my hand as we walk across the family land. He asked me why I smile this way whenever old country records play. I tell him songs are more than sound, they're pieces of the lives we found. Every melody carries home, even when you're far from home. If tomorrow is my final ride, I'll face it with a grateful smile, because I know beyond the sky that porch light never says goodbye. There's still a light in Mama's window, brighter than the morning sun. Every prayer she whispered there still guides the road I'm on. Though the seasons come and go, some things never change. There's still a light in Mama's window, calling my heart by name. Home isn't the place we leave behind, it's the love that keeps the light burning. Daddy's old Chevrolet still sits in the shed, faded blue paint and a hood of red. The keys still hang on the rusty nail beside his worn-out fishing pail. He'd crank it up before sunrise came. Every morning looked the same. Coffee in one hand, lunchbox tied, heading to work before daylight. The radio hummed those country songs, the kind that stayed your whole life long. Every chorus told the truth about hard work, faith, and you. Saturday afternoons we'd wash that truck, laughing even when we had no luck. Mama brought lemonade out to the drive, making ordinary moments come alive. After supper we'd take a ride, windows down the countryside, past old barns and fields of hay, watching another summer fade away. Every mailbox, every fence still carries quiet evidence of a life built slow and true by hands that always followed through. Years may wear the chrome away, but love never rusts with age. Daddy's old Chevrolet still knows every road today, past the river, past the mill, climbing every country hill. Every mile reminds me why simple dreams can touch the sky. Daddy's old Chevrolet still carries me home. And my grandson rides with me, sitting where Daddy used to be. He smiles when that old engine starts, like it knows our family hearts. He asks if trucks remember names or every road they used to take. I laugh and say, maybe they do, just like old songs remember you. One day these hands will finally rest, knowing life has been well blessed. Leave that Chevy where it belongs, beside the porch and all these songs. Daddy's old Chevrolet still drives through yesterday, past the memories we've known, to the place we'll always call home. If heaven has an open road where wildflowers gently grow, save a place beside that lane. We'll take one more ride again. Some engines grow quiet with time, but the journeys they carry never stop, echoing in our hearts. Every Friday after supper, we'd sit beneath the sky, Mama humming softly while the fireflies drifted by. Daddy tuned the old guitar with hands worn by the years. Every song he ever played could dry away our tears. that little house on Willow Lane still lives inside my heart. Though time has carried all of us 1,000 miles apart. The paint is cracked, the fence leans low, the mailbox wears its age, but every memory still turns another golden page. The roads grow longer every year, but somehow they all lead back here. The porch light still shines through the night, calling every dream back home, like an old country song on the radio. Never leaves you alone. Those seasons change and years roll by, love never fades away. That little porch light still shines bright, guiding this old heart today. I still hear the screen door closing on a warm July evening, Grandma pouring sweet iced tea while Grandpa kept believing. Neighbors gathered on the porch with stories full of grace. Nobody was ever lost when kindness filled the place. The children chased the lightning bugs until the stars appeared. Back when life was measured more by laughter than by years, no fancy things could ever buy what we already knew. Home was built with faithful hearts and skies forever blue. Someday I'll bring my grandchildren to that weathered country lane. We'll sing the songs that shaped our lives, and they'll remember every refrain. The porch light still shines through the night, calling every dream back home, like an old country song on the radio. Never leaves you alone. Those seasons change and years roll by, love never fades away. That little porch light still shines bright, guiding this old heart today. I still hear the screen door closing on a warm July evening, Grandma pouring sweet iced tea while Grandpa kept believing. Neighbors gathered on the porch with stories full of grace. Nobody was ever lost when kindness filled the place. The children chased the lightning bugs until the stars appeared. Back when life was measured more by laughter than by years, no fancy things already knew. Home was built with faithful hearts and skies forever blue. Someday I'll bring my grandchildren, but somehow they all lead back here. The porch light still shines through the night, calling every dream back home. Like an old country song on the radio, never leaves you alone. Those seasons change and years roll by, love never fades away. That little porch light still shines bright, guiding the soul heart today. I still hear the screen door closing on a warm July evening. Mama humming softly while the fireflies drifted by. Daddy tuned the old guitar with hands worn by the years. Every song he ever played could dry away our tears. That little house on Willow Lane still lives inside my heart. Though time has carried all of us 1,000 miles apart, the paint script.
Every morning at 6:30, same old corner booth, coffee steaming by the window, simple honest truth. Folks would gather one by one, sharing news and smiles, talking about the weather and the roads for miles. Old Joe wore his favorite hat from 1963. Mary laughed at every joke like she was 23. Nobody was in a hurry, nobody kept score. Life was found in little things we don't see anymore. Those ordinary mornings became the richest years. One more cup of coffee, one more sunrise glow, one more country melody playing soft and low. If I could live one day again, I'd choose those simple times, with friends around the breakfast table and love between the lines. Outside stood an old pickup, covered up with dust, still running like tomorrow was a promise you could trust. The waitress knew our stories before we'd say a word. Every smile around that room was something deeply earned. Young folks chased tomorrow while we held yesterday, knowing every passing season slowly slips away. Still those songs upon the jukebox never lost their soul, keeping little pieces of our hearts forever whole. Now the diner doors are silent, the old sign barely sways, but in my heart I still can hear those unforgettable days. One more cup of coffee, one more old refrain, one more dusty highway after summer rain. Though time keeps rolling onward, some memories never fade. The sweetest songs are written from the simple lives we made. So So if you hear an old guitar somewhere down the line, pull up one more empty chair and stay a while this time. Every Sunday just before first light, Mama dressed us all in white. Daddy started up the old Ford truck, praying we'd have just enough. The little church stood proud and small, with stained glass windows worn but tall. The bell would ring across the fields, bringing peace no money yields. Miss Eleanor played the old piano. Every hymn felt sweet and slow. Children smiled beneath the pews, learning faith before they knew. After church we'd gather outside, sharing stories filled with pride. Fresh pie cooling on the sill, time stood still upon that hill. Life wasn't measured by what we had, but by the love that made us glad. That little white church on the hill lives inside my heart still. Every prayer still finds its way, though the years have slipped away. Every bell still softly rings in the quiet of my dreams. If I could choose one place once more, I'd walk through that old wooden door. Now the paint has lost its shine, the clock no longer keeps good time, but every memory still remains, like summer sunshine after rain. My grandson asked me yesterday, Grandpa, did it always feel this way? I smiled and said, you'll understand when life has written on your hands. One day when my road is done and I see the setting sun, I hope the first sound that I hear is that old church bell ringing near. That little white church on the hill is calling gently still, where hope was stronger than our fear and love was always near. When I finally close my eyes beneath those endless country skies, I'll meet the ones I've missed so long,
disappear from the map, but they never disappear from the heart.
I still remember that little dirt road where every mile carried a lighter load. A white frame house beneath the pines, with a porch that welcomed all the time. Mama's curtains danced with the breeze, wind chimes sang through the maple trees. Coffee waiting on the stove each dawn, before the first rooster carried on. Daddy's boots were by the old back door, covered with dust from the fields once more. He'd smile and say, "Come sit a while," making every hard day feel worthwhile. Summer evenings never came too fast. We always hoped they'd somehow last. Grandpa's stories fill the air, while Grandma rocked her old chair. Kids caught fireflies in old glass jars, counting wishes beneath the stars. No television, no fancy phones, just happy hearts and simple homes. Every Sunday the church bell rang, the choir lifted voices as everyone sang. Faith was something you could feel, as honest and warm as a country meal. Now the years have rolled away like trains, but nothing can erase those names. There's still a light in Mama's window, shining through my memories, calling me back to yesterday. Like a gentle southern breeze, no matter where this old road goes, my heart still finds that door. There's still a light in Mama's window, and it shines forevermore. Now my grandson holds my hand as we walk across the family land. He asked me why I smile this way whenever old country records play. I tell him songs are more than sound, they're pieces of the lives we found. Every melody carries home, even when you're far from home. If tomorrow is my final ride, I'll face it with a grateful smile, because I know beyond the sky that porch light never says goodbye. There's still a light in Mama's window, brighter than the morning sun. Every
things we leave behind. It's the love that keeps the light burning.
There's an old dirt road where the blackbirds fly, beneath a wide and weathered sky. A white fence leans by the pasture gate, like it's been patiently learning to wait. The mailbox stands where it always did, still wearing the number Daddy painted in red. Though the paint is cracked and the years have flown, it still feels like the place called home. Every morning Mama swept the porch, coffee brewing while the daylight poured. The old AM radio softly played songs that never seemed to fade. Grandpa worked the fields until sunset came, never asking fortune or fame. His hands were rough, his heart was kind, the strongest man I'll ever find. Grandma stitched quilts through winter nights, under a warm and gentle light. Every thread she carefully sewed wrapped our family in love untold. Neighbors stop without a call, sharing laughter through the fall. Nobody left without a smile, or sitting down to talk a while. Looking back through all these years, the smallest moments shine the clearest. Life was never rich in gold, but every memory still warms my soul. The mailbox still remembers your name, though nothing around it stays the same. The porch light still burns in my mind, like it never left those nights behind. Every country road still leads me there, to the love we learned to share. If I could turn this old heart around, I'd be back on that familiar ground. My grandson rode beside me today, asking why I smiled that way. I pointed toward the gravel lane and told him every old road has a name. I said, this is where your family grew, where every promise always rang true, where Sunday dinners filled the room, and every spring brought flowers into bloom. He looked at me with quiet eyes, watching birds across the skies, then softly reached and took my hand
like somehow he could understand. Someday these boots will rest at last beside the fields of seasons past, but leave my guitar upon that chair, so the songs can still be waiting there. If heaven has a country lane, a weathered porch after the rain, a rocking chair beneath the trees, that's where you'll find the best of me. The mailbox still remembers your name, just like the old oak knows the rain. Though time keeps rolling like a train, love keeps calling me again. When my journey reaches home someday, I know exactly where I'll stay, where every sunset feels the same, and the mailbox still has your name. Some names disappear from the mailbox, but they never disappear from the hearts that love them.
There's a weathered porch on Cedar Lane, still standing strong through the wind and rain. Its paint is faded, its boards may creak, but it's held our story every week. Daddy carved our names into that rail, Mama laughed beneath the evening veil. The smell of coffee filled the morning air, and every sunrise found us gathered there. Saturday mornings came soft and slow, with the radio playing songs we'd know. Grandma sang while the biscuits rose, Grandpa smiled in his old work clothes. Neighbors stopped without a call, no one ever felt too small. A handshake meant more than words could say. That's how we lived back in the day. Time keeps moving like an old freight train, but love still calls my name. Take me back to the porch where love grew old, where every story's worth more than gold, where Mama prayed before each meal, and Daddy taught us what was real. If I could live those years once more, I'd walk right through that old screen door. Take me back where my heart still knows, to the porch where love grew old. I'll sit where Daddy used to be, watching my grandkids climb that tree. They laugh the way we used to laugh, running barefoot down the grassy path.
The world outside has changed so much, but nothing beats that gentle touch of family gathered side by side, with open hearts and country pride. One day these boots will rest for good beneath the oak behind the wood, but every song the robins sing will bring back every precious thing. Take me back to the porch where love grew old, where faithful hearts were brave and bold, where every goodbye meant see you soon beneath the harvest moon. As long as there's a sky above, I'll thank the Lord for simple love. Take me back before I roam to the porch that made my heart a home. Some homes are remembered because of their walls. The best ones are remembered because of the love they held.
There's an old oak by the river bend, where my daddy said all roads begin. He'd park that faded pickup there, with dust in his boots and silver in his hair. Mama spread a blanket on the ground, while the evening birds were the only sound. We'd laugh until the daylight slipped away, thinking life would always stay that way. My brother skipped stones across the stream, talking about the places he'd someday see. Grandpa carved our names into that tree, saying roots are where your heart should be. We didn't have much money then, but we were richer than we'd ever spend. Every smile was honest, every handshake true, every sunset painted skies of blue. Now the years roll by like freight trains slow, but there's one place my heart still knows. Take me back to the old oak by the river bend, where every goodbye became see you again, where love was measured in time we shared, not by the things we couldn't spare. If heaven looks like anything I've known, it's a front porch, a field, and a place called home. Take me back where my story began, by the old oak at the river bend. Now my children ask me where I learned the kind of love that can't be earned. I smile and point beyond the hill, where that old tree's standing still. Though the paint is faded from the family place, I still remember every familiar face. Some folks chase tomorrow all their lives. I found forever where those memories survive. The river still sings the same old song, even after all these years are gone. Time may change these hands I hold, but not the stories that were told. Take me back to the old oak by the river bend, where every season found another friend, where every prayer rose with the morning light, and every star watched over us at night. When my traveling days finally end, lay my hat where the waters gently bend. Take me home where love has always been, by the old oak at the river bend. Some roads are forgotten with the passing years, but the road back home never disappears. My old pickup starts with a stubborn sound, still carrying dreams from this little town. Rust on the fenders, miles on the tires, but it's fueled by memories that never tire. Daddy bought it in '69, said take good care and it'll treat you fine. Every scratch tells a story true, every road reminds me of you. We drove to church every Sunday morn, fields of wheat and rows of corn, Mama humming soft beside the door, like she'd done 1,000 times before. After service we'd stop downtown, everybody knew everybody around. Coffee cups and friendly smiles made every trip feel worth the miles. The map may change from year to year, but home is always waiting here. The old pickup knows the way home, even when I feel alone. Past the river, past the hill, past the old red sawmill. Every mile brings back a song, reminding me where I belong. The old pickup knows the way, and somehow so does my heart today. Now my grandson rides beside me, asking how this truck still runs so free. I tell him, son, it's more than steel. It's every memory that these wheels can feel. He laughs and rolls the window down, listening to that country sound. The same old songs I loved back then are finding new young hearts again. When my traveling days are through and these old roads fade from view, leave this truck beneath
where home has always waited for me. The old pickup knows the way home through every season life has shown. Past the mailbox, past the gate, where love has always learned to wait. If tomorrow brings my final ride, I'll leave this world with grateful pride, because every road I've ever known led this old country boy back home. The finest journeys aren't measured by the miles we've driven. They're measured by the people waiting when we get home.
I left this town when I was 23, chasing dreams across Tennessee. An old guitar and a second-hand Ford, believing life had something more. Every highway had another town. Every sunrise came and went around, but every road beneath the sky led me back where love survived. Some hearts wander far away just to find where they belong. One more mile to Caroline, one more county line. She's waiting where the porch swing sways, like she always has through all these days. No matter how far this world may roll, she has always been my home. One more mile to Caroline, and I won't leave again. She still keeps wildflowers by the gate, like she did back in '68. Her smile hasn't lost its glow, even after all these years have come and gone. We grew older hand in hand, built our dreams upon this land. Every wrinkle tells a story true, every promise carried through. The clock keeps moving, seasons change, but faithful love remains the same. A simple life was all we ever planned, and somehow it became enough.
forever by my side. Every road has an ending, mine always